Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha, and today I'm having organic fat-free Greek yogurt, organic cherries, oats, and organic Diet Dr. Pepper. Of course, that'll stir up some controversy, give people something to talk about. My God, Blaha ate something that some person might consider unhealthy somewhere along the way. I actually like diet soda. And for the record, I'm probably going to ban your stupid ass if you can't leak actual real research. If you come in and say something bad about it. Okay? Because that's actually silly myth nonsense. There's no problem with most artificial sweeteners. In fact, I find it useful when cutting like this. This is a very high satiety meal. It's very nutritionally complete. Again, Greek yogurt, cherries, oats, and then I've got my filling Diet Dr. Pepper, and I actually prefer Coke Zero. Before people chime in, like, well, if you want to bring it to my house, I'll be more than happy to drink Coke Zero. Deliver me $1,000 worth of free cases, and we'll be good. They don't sell it at my Costco down the street. That's the issue. It's where I prefer to buy my groceries. So let's get over and talk about accessory work. Speaking of criticism, one of the criticisms I get a lot, you change your accessories too often, you change them all. I actually had someone come and say, that's why you don't make progress. I'm like, really? That's why I'm hitting elite numbers at age 45. Hitting elite numbers at age 45, and you guys have watched me lose body fat and gain muscle. Yeah, you can't say I haven't made progress. And that's kind of the counter argument I would have to that when people say, oh, you change them all the time. You'll change your plan for accessories. You bet I do. I will change them based upon what my recovery looks like, where I think I need the most work on a day-to-day basis. And you know why? Because I can. Now, people will say, is there a problem with that? No, there isn't. More novice lifters need to learn movement patterns. Right? We don't rotate accessories that often for novices. We don't. There's no need. We need to have some steady progress. And so if I give a novice, the same accessory for a 3-week block, a 6-week, a 12-week block, I'm not worried about overuse. They need to learn how to move. They need to learn movement patterns. They need good progressive overload. As we get more advanced, where is our real progressive overload, our big movements? So you take the way that I train. Where is our programming and progression? It's the big exercises. Okay. It's what we're concerned with. What are we doing with our supplemental work? We're generating fatigue to induce hypertrophy. It's why we're doing it. Like, look at some of the stuff you'll see me do, come in and do. Sometimes I'll do a bunch of sets of 10 on the main lift. All right, with a light weight. But I'll do other stuff. You guys will see me do belt squats, front squats, reverse hypers, glute ham raises, cleans, all this stuff. Good mornings, all these things for my lower body. Notice different ones of them have different amounts of axial loading, different amounts of back work. Right? A lot of these will have very similar lower body. You think a back squat, a front squat, and a belt squat are different? No, they're the same accessory for your lower body. You're not changing anything. You really aren't. If you're doing X amount of fatiguing sets for them, glute, quad, adductor, the work is all the same. Right? You haven't changed anything. You've changed the axial loading. You've changed the back, you've changed the core involvement. Maybe this affects some recovery, this affects some other hypertrophy through other parts of the body. But as far as the main function of it, you haven't changed it. You see where I'm going with this? You can base this upon what you need at the moment. Okay, we can handle more axial loading when our recovery is better, or when we want the extra core and trunk involvement. And you can do this whole concept with all of your supplemental work. It's fine to change it as long as you are continuing to generate similar levels of fatigue, similar levels of work sets. They're fairly interchangeable. You can change them all the time as a more advanced lifter. And that's the thing that we need to think about with advanced lifters and personalities. Hey, this is something they've noticed. They noticed even at Westside. You've seen Louis write about it. Personality type. And I get a lot of people who will say, oh, Jason, you're calm and chill. You're an introvert. I'm actually not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. Case in point, I decided one day I was going to get up on YouTube and build an audience. I've done a lot of showmanship on YouTube. I'm a little more chill these days. I did a lot of showmanship and stuff early on. Okay? You don't do that. Introverted people don't decide they're going to do that. I'm calm, I'm chill, I'm soft-spoken. I'm an extrovert. And I think that surprised people. That's come up in some conversations in social media. You know, that perception of online personas. And like, no, I'm taking all those personality tests. I know what my personality is. I'm absolutely extroverted. Extroverts often do better rotating supplemental lifts more often. Louis Simmons noticed this. Okay, introverts sometimes do better with less rotation. Okay, and this is something that I have to note as a coach when dealing with my own lifters. Something we have to note. But the thing that you have to consider is that when you understand what supplemental lifts are for, and you're able to make these adjustments as you go, you'll start to understand better. Because when people criticize something like that, they're completely failing to understand that. You're like, but you seem to have a certain plan. Well, sometimes I do, and then I change it. You know what? As long as I'm getting the fatigue that I want, it's all the same. Well, it's not the same. There are other secondary considerations. But that's what I'm adjusting, is that the other considerations besides just the primary movers. Right? That's what we're looking at. And adjusting those things as needed based again upon recovery and need. And those are dynamic. They're changing. And if anyone wants to argue and say, well, you know, it doesn't work. That's why you haven't made progress. Other than I've made a ridiculous metric shit tons of progress. I mean, that's not a valid criticism, guys. And my more advanced clients, you guys notice a lot of them get their supplemental work rotated a lot too. If you look more closely, it happens pretty often. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.